Coffee Cuties, we are back with another banger. And today we have a new hair typing system for us girlies to explore. So let's just get right into it. So before I go into detail, I want to thank the subscriber who recommended this hair typing system to me. So be sure to leave a comment if you're watching the video so I can pin it and let all the girlies know that you were the one who recommended it to me. Also, I cited my source for this hair type system in the comment sections below. But the motivation for this video basically was after reading the comments, I noticed that a lot of coffee cuties, they expressed that they had a disliking to the Andrew Walker hair chart. If you are not 100% familiar with the hair chart, especially associated with type 4 hair, I'm going to link my first video breaking that chart down in full detail. So be sure to check that out and then come back to this one. But a lot of girlies were expressing the fact that they didn't like that type 4 hair was at the bottom. And they also felt like the chart just overall lacked nuance because it doesn't include things like porosity, hair density, etc. So what if I told you that the L.O.I.S hair typing system allegedly is going to address all of this and maybe a little bit more? So let me just start with a little bit of background of the L.O.I.S hair chart system, just to give a little bit more information. So this system was originally created by a site called ourhair.net. And it's actually funny because this system was created at least 15 years ago. So the site actually no longer exists today. So it was a little bit difficult to find information. But good things YouTube has been around long enough. So I was able to find information on this chart. But the original purpose of the L.O.I.S hair chart system was to eliminate the need for labeling the hair chart by numbers and to combat the stigma associated with Black women's, primarily the type 4 hair range that majority of us have, being labeled as the last number. So it looks like whoever created the L.O.I.S chart had a lot of the same concerns that some of the Coley Cuties commented in my comment section. Next, I'm going to get into what the definition of the L.O.I.S hair chart system is. So basically, this is a system that prompts you to explore hair strand patterns, hair strand thickness, hair strand texture in order to get a better understanding of your hair. So with that being said, we are going to start with the strand patterns. So the way we are going to break all of this down is I am going to give visual representation as I talk through each step. So if you need to pause, go back, rewind, etc., the pictures are going to be available for you so we can hopefully get it all worked out and lined up together. But the strand patterns are determined by using the letters in the word L.O.I.S, so L-O-I-S. So we are going to start with the letter L. So the letter L, it bends at a right angle, and it also is known for zigzag patterns. And I am going to compare each letter with the Andre Walker hair chart just so we can get a better understanding because a lot of us are a lot more familiar with that chart. So in my opinion, the L is closely associated with type 4B or 4C hair. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but based off the description, that is the closest match. And next, we're going to move on to letter O. So O forms little O's or spirals. And in my opinion, based off the Andre Walker hair type chart, it is closely associated with primarily 4A hair. Again, you could correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but you have the visual representation on the screen as well as the explanation. But next, we're going to move on to the letter I, which is typically associated with straight hair. So majority of us do not really have to worry about this section at all, but I have the visual representation on the screen as well. And in the Andre Walker system, this will be in the type 1 range. And lastly, we're going to move on to the letter S, which is wavy hair or typically associated within primarily the type 2 range, but it could be some of the beginning of the type 3 range as well. And with that being said, and with the visual representation on the screen, typically, in my opinion, with the type 4 hair range, which as we know, us coily cuties on this channel only focus on type 4 hair. And in my opinion, that means that primarily majority of the audience is going to fall under the letter L or O, or you may have a small mixture of S as well, or you may have 2 out of the 3 letters, 3, you may have all of them, you may just have 1. But let me know based off the visual representation, the definition, as well as the comparison to the Andre Walker chart, which one you feel like you fall up under. And at the end, I'm going to reveal mine as well. But next, we're going to move on to strand size. So the strand size is determined by using the thread test. So the thread test starts with a freshly washed hair. No added products or anything, just freshly washed hair. Then you're going to find a piece of sewing thread and lay it on a napkin, a paper towel, etc. Just something that's clear and white, so you can get a good visual representation. And you're going to lay the thread straight, and then you're going to lay your hair next to the thread. So you are then going to compare the size of your hair to the size of the thread. So if your hair is thinner than the thread, you have fine hair. If your hair is the same size as the thread, you have medium hair. And if your hair is thicker than the thread, you have coarse hair. Again, thinner than the thread is fine, same as medium or good mixture, and thinner than the thread means you have coarse hair. So let me know down in the comment section where you fall based off the definition and the visual representation as well. But next, we're going to move into the fun part that may require some pausing, some going back, rewinding, etc. And that is the strand test. So the strand texture test is broken up into 5 different categories, and it is determined by sheen versus shine, water absorption, and frizz. So with that being said, we're going to first get into the sheen versus shine. So sheen versus shine is basically when it comes to sheen, which you can see the visual representation on the screen, it has a more dull reflection of light. And then when it comes to shine, as you can see on the screen, it has a more reflection of the light. So again, shine has reflection, sheen has a more dull reflection of the light, as you can see on the screen. So which category out of sheen and shine does your hair fall under? Or you may still be a little bit confused, but don't worry. When I break down each category, you may find that the sheen versus shine explanations give you a better picture. So next, we're going to jump into the 5 categories, which are Thready, Wiry, Cottony, Spongy, and Silky. So we are going to start with category number 1, which is Thready. Again, you can pause, etc. But we're going to start with the Thready category. Has a lot of shine and braids and twists. So you will see some shine. You will see some reflection of the light when you have your hair braided or in twist, etc. Also, the water absorption, aka the porosity test, it is easy to wet and easy to dry. So if we're going to compare it to the porosity test, and if you're unfamiliar with that, be sure to go to my part 1 video of breaking down the hair porosities. But in my opinion, that sounds like high porosity hair. Again, if I'm incorrect, you can correct me in the comment section. And lastly, when it comes to the Thready category, you have no frizz. So let me know if you are a Thready coily cutie. But next, we're going to move into the next category, and that is Wiry. So Wiry has just kind of like a sprinkle of sheen when you have your braids or twist out. So you'll kind of see like it looks like kind of like diamonds, or like I said, sprinkles of like little sheen throughout your hair, but it's not just full of shine. Next, when it comes to water absorption, your hair basically, it absorbs the water, but it never really feels wet. So in my opinion, if I had to compare that to the porosity test, I assume that that sounds more like low porosity hair, but again, you can correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. And lastly, the wiry section has little frizz, very low frizz. And next, we're going to move into the cottony section, or category rather. And in this section, you have a lot of shine. So you have a lot of reflection to the light when your hair is stretched or straightened. When it comes to water absorption, it is easy to wet, whereas it doesn't feel like it's as easy to absorb the water. So this one was a little bit tricky for me when it came to trying to compare it to the porosity test. So be sure to let me know in the comment section. But I just basically put that it kind of sounds like it's a mix between the two, because easy to wet kind of sounds like high, but then slow to absorb the water kind of sounds like low. So I put it under mixed porosity. And lastly, when it comes to the cottony section, you have a lot of frizz. So let me know if you are a cottony girly. And next, we're going to move on to the fourth category, and that is spongy. So with spongy, you have high sheen, so you have more of a dull reflection of light. When it comes to water absorption, you can absorb a lot of water, but it takes a while for it to feel saturated. So I put that under the low porosity. So again, that because it takes a while to wet and it takes a while to absorb, so that kind of sounds like low porosity to me. Also, you will have a lot of frizz. And I did find an explanation of a girl breaking it down, and that was basically a humidity test when it came to the spongy category. So basically, if you go outside during a humid day rather, and if your hair does not fall, it holds the style basically, you may be in the spongy category. So let me know if you are a spongy girl based off the definition. And lastly, the fifth category is silky. And that's basically high shine. Your hair is easily wet and is typically associated with straight hair. And another example when it came to the silky section was that it is associated with newborn baby hair. So if typically, if you're in the type 4 range, you won't really fall under the silky category. But again, our hair can be a mix of a lot of things. So if you have any silky strands within your hair, if it's in the parameters, back, etc., be sure to leave that down in the comment section below as well. But when it comes to my hair, and if you want to check out my hair, I'm going to try to find the photo, but if not, it's in the part 1. But my hair, I feel like it is a mix between the letter L and O. So I have zigzag patterns, and I also do have small O shapes or spirals as well within. I feel like my hair strands were in a medium, so I didn't have fine or coarse, just right in the middle. And I would say that my hair is wiry because I don't really have a lot of shine, like a lot of reflection. But sometimes when I have braids, I can see like the little sparkle. Or I kind of feel like my hair may be thready as well, because it is not easy to wet, and then it doesn't dry easy. So I don't know. The 30 category was kind of throwing me off with that part, but I'm either wiry, which I'm leaning more towards, or I could be thready as well. But let me know what your overall thoughts are of the system so far. Again, if you have to rewind, pause, go back, etc. Once you kind of get a hang of it, like when you hear each explanation, it gets a little bit simpler. But my thoughts on the L.O.I.S hair type system, it is a little bit complicated because I'm just so used to the Andre Walker type system. So I have to, it does take some time to kind of grasp the concepts, etc. And I did like that it included like water absorption and your strand type as well, all within the system. However, I wasn't really sure like what frizz had to do with anything. Maybe because I don't experience frizz, so I just didn't understand the purpose of it when it came to this test. But if you are a coily cutie that experiences more frizz, maybe that part could be helpful to you. I'm not sure, but let me know down below. And I just want to say that because the L.O.I.S hair type system never really took off the way the Andre Walker system did, it's not basically hair products never really catered to it, so you still would have to be kind of bouncing back and forth between the two charts when it comes to try to find the best products for you. Kind of how I broke it down within the video, like for example the letter L I kind of associated with 4B 4C. You'll kind of still have to bounce between the two, so I don't feel like either chart can stand 100% on its own, but they both have things that the other one is lacking. So let me know what your thoughts are. I really want to know what you coily cuties think. Do you think that this chart covered it for you? Do you feel like this is a chart that better suits your needs? Do you feel like we should just continue to be on our exploration of finding another chart? Or are you girls ready to just flat out move on to start creating our own updated modern chart that includes everything that we need? Because this chart, just like the Andre Walker chart, it does still kind of lack some nuance, and some parts is a little bit difficult to understand. Again, I'm not even sure if I'm wiry fully or thready, but again, with the whole easy to wet, easy to dry part, I'm not sure if I will fall under thready, but let me know what you think, because my hair is low porosity for sure. But if you girls have a better understanding of the system than I do, and you can actually categorize my own hair, please let me know as well. But that is the end of the L.O.I.S hair type system category. But before I go, I want to say that I am selling some Coffee Cutie mugs on my website, linked down in the description box below. So if you want a Coffee Cutie mug, be sure to let your girl know, because I will be ordering in bulk within the next couple weeks. Also be on the lookout, because I will be selling some coily community merch. I will be selling crop tops for sure, long sleeves and short. And let me know if you girlies want some tank tops as well as any other ideals you have that you would like when it comes to products. Also, hair chart systems, recommendation, video recommendations, any and all comments are welcome. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend, because we are lit over here. A lot more videos are to come, but until next time, see ya.